G'day friends and fans, welcome to Tabletop News. I'm your host, the author David Applegate. And today I'm bringing you the news from my favourite site first, the Bundle of Holding, where you too can get RPGs for a fraction of the price, all PDFs, all DRM-free. Most of these are time-limited offers. You have the countdown here in the top. Now, this is supplement. First up, we have recent edition, the supplements for the Hostile tabletop game. Hostile Hot Zones features the Civilian Collection at $12.95. It is the second of two offers in progress featuring Hostile, the Seraphis tabletop role-playing game of deep space alien horror from Zoza Games. For $12.95, you get 9 supplements in the Civilian Collection, all DRM-3. If you pay more than the threshold price of $25.98, you level up and get the entire military collection with 6 more titles. What are the contents? First up, you have the Civilian Collection. Pay the minimum, get 3 Hostile supplements. This is... First up, you have the Earth World Book for $22.25. 2 economic collapses have reshaped the world. Chaos and crime are widespread. Corporations now manage world governments. Hot Zone. This is the crew's name for LS-809, location of a missing hyperspace probe. It was acting strangely while plotting new hyperspace coordinates. The probe crash landed onto a burning hellhole orbiting Galaxy 9028, and the IOC wants their probe back, and quickly and quietly, but the planet won't cooperate. It is truly hostile. And next up is The Price of Freedom, a multi-part 100 campaign set on the old moon colony of Nevermind. What happened to Joe? Nevermind. What happened to your career? Never mind. There's corporate concerns about the jeopardy. There are corporate concerns. What's happening? Well, tensions are rising, outbreaks of violence, religious sects obsessed with Nevermind's gas giant primary, unravel the mystery, prevent calamity. 4 Seraphis ship and station guides. You have the Colonial Freighter, orbiting This is the ship map for a 5,000-ton starship, fully mapped with variants. Orbiting platforms is the easy-to-use construction rules for Hostile RPG to serve as engines. Considering in a format similar to Hostile Starship construction rules. Pioneer Station is exactly that. It's a station map and guide. And Roughnecks is a crew supplement for crew. Expendable crew. Roughnecks. Perfect size for players. Yeah. It's a 400-ton mining ship. So you got those guides. You got hacking rules suitable for any cyberpunk setting. Hostile Survivors, a narrative-based survival science fiction survival. You're not superheroes, demigods, and ordinary people overcoming the impossible. This is a standalone rulebook, including everything you need to complete. But it is not just a standalone it is also a supplement to Hostile. So you can use it on its own as a rulebook, or add it as an addition to your... Next up, we have the Military Collection. Beat the threshold price, level up, which I always recommend you do, and get the entire collection. Hostile Solo. How to face the malevolent universe on your own. It's inspired by Outland, Aliens, Darkstar, Pitch Black, and Event Horizon. And The Thing. You start off as a blue-collar worker in deep space, and you overcome challenges of terrors. The standalone rulebook gives you everything you need to play. However, it is basically everything you need. But you can use rules and resources from Hostile. For Hostile Marine Operations, Colony Wars, as it says, colonies, wars, maps, there's guerrilla warfare, cartels, corporate sabotage, rebellion. Life is never dull off-world. Dirty Wars. You fight dirty wars. Hired by NGOs. What? No, Soros is just a conspiracy theory. Alright. Forever War. Many nations are, of course, locked in a forever war over planets, colonies, etc. And Medusa. Medusa is a deadly moon forest shrouded in secrets and lies, a world of loggers, and a hostile jungle. Zaibatsu is a Sephiroth-injured cyberpunk RPG in the Hostile universe. To early days of cyberpunk when Neuromancer was fresh, set in Tokyo. Japan is the center of a new high-stakes dystopian universe. No, it's a utopia. I swear the Empire is a utopia, right? The Empire of Elves, centered on the Japanese culture, is the center. It's a utopia. The Emperor Kaede commands it. And for those who don't know, yes, I'm off my rocker, but that's beside the point, isn't it? Now, the Fragged Empire 2.0 to second edition is a post-apocalypse tabletop role-playing game. Fragged Empire is a one price gets you the collection. 1995 gets you the all-new Fragged Empire 2nd edition bundle, revised edition of Fragged Empire. This is a post-apocalypse tabletop role-playing game from Design Ministries of fractured space and divided species. 15,000 years in the future, humanity has gone extinct, but 8 engineers rule the wonders of what remains. A century after the Nephilim and the Zion Masters successfully defeated the Archons and their several nations, a ragtag band of misfits ride the ley lines. These are ruptured in space that power both jump drives and psionic powers, rebuild the galaxy. So, after the fall, you're rebuilding. But however, there's politics, grudges, and slumbering evils. This was funded by a spectacular March 2022 Kickstarter. Adds more history, more systems, and inspired adventures from Cowboy Bebop, Fly, Scarscape, and themes of tension, transhumanism. Everything you need to build new nations and a better future for 1995, in which you get, in the Fragged collection, the Fragged Empire, which you get 3 core rulebooks. Now, first up, you have the 2nd edition rules, a setting guide, location guide, these are 8 star systems, and archetypes. These are mapped out character progression paths, Next is second edition adventures, Magician's Choice and Eat Cake. Magician's Choice, the party investigates the ruins of an Archon ship. And Eat Cake is a trade deal gone wrong. Next up, of course, is Ragtag, a fast alternative to the full rules. Next up is the Hostile Bundle, the second part of the Hostile Collection with Hostile Hot Zones. These are, the core rules. This is from an April 2022 Deep Space Zephyrus Engine tabletop horror game where there are killer aliens fighting Marines in brutal mining colonies. Starter Collection, $9.95. This is the second resurrection of Hostile from Zoza Games, based on the Zephyrus core rules, which of course is modeled on Traveller. Hostile is a gritty retro future, a universe of harsh planets, toxic atmospheres, corruption, inhumanity, and killer aliens. And you thought your job was bad. However, $9.95 gets you 5 titles in the revived offers. Starter Collection, pay more than the threshold price of $21.64 and you level up. This gives you the entire bonus collection with 8 more titles. The Starter Collection, pay the minimum price, gets you the Hostile rules and setting, Gun Locker, firearms, grenades, accessories, and firearms. Handouts, everything you need for an autopsy report. These are basically role-playing sessions and a reference screen. Art, charts, and NPCs. Bonus collections, you get the Explorers, you get some supplements. The Explorers is a tool for planetary scouting. You have a survey ship and 36 ready to survey uninhabitable worlds with dangerous missions. Dirt Side, more excursions, pitch your wits against the elements, details for every terrain type, and of course Colony Builder. What's the use of playing the Colonial Marines if you're not a colonizer? To the chief, right? We're here to chew gum and spread democracy. Hallelujah, right? All right, friends. Next up is Alien Breeds. Synthetics. 2 adversaries. You've got aliens. These are basically your standard aliens with a horrific lifestyle, able to suit any environment. You have a small colony of 56 people that serve as a survey team, prospecting mission, maintenance, you name it. Basically, bait or food for the aliens. Next is synthetics. You have cloned avatars of multi-millionaires who can't face death, illegal clone replicants, mostly through proles, genetically engineered workers, androids. The corporations did spend $999,000. Yeah, save your bucks for pre-used. Unofficial people have no rights, remember? What could go wrong? Gunboats and shuttles, as it says, small craft, shuttles, gunboats, dropships, escape pods, lifeboats, final part of the Hostile universe. This covers all small craft in the American sector. Is there any other? If so, You know the drill. Hoorah. All right. Bored with starships? Enlist. Get to know your ground history in the Marine Expeditionary Unit. Firearms, armour, equipment, uniforms, and more. What does the Grenadier Sergeant do? Bug hunts, folks. Bug hunts. A 13-troop squad on a bug hunt. Who's hunting who? Crew expendable. Hauling freight across the stars. A campaign framework. You have a crew of 36 NPCs. Contracts to be fulfilled. Star maps. And a starship. 1,000-ton multi-haul freighter. Merchants don't just buy and sell cargo. You have deadlines and trouble along the way. What kind of trouble? It's hostile. It's hostile. That kind of trouble. Next up, we have Tiny Dungeons Mega. A mega dungeon for a fantastic price. Mega dungeon for April 2023. A streamlined tabletop role-playing game from Gallant Knight. The Tiny Collection, 1995. Uses the minimalist tiny D6 rules. Fast play. Characters you could describe on the back of a napkin. I wouldn't say as small as an index card. It's a little bigger, but basically it's like a one-page character. If you ever played early D&D, you know what I mean, because this is what it's really based on. And you've got a huge range of genres. And don't forget fishing, a fishing game. Yes, it contains a fishing game. Now, 1995 gets you 13 titles in the revived offer. However, if you pay more than the threshold price of $36.14, you level up and get the entire collection. Now, these are all D6. Now, Tiny Dungeon is a straightforward minimalist fantasy role-playing game. Tiny Wastelands is as it says. This is a post-apocalyptic blasted landscape of the near future. It's a standalone post-apocalyptic science fiction. It's minimalist. However, it does contain rules for settlements, vehicles, and mutations, and various settings. It does not just have... It also has a deck of session cards, 50 session cards. So there's 50 missions for you to play out in your Tiny Wastelands with a GM screen. Frontiers. It's the frontiers of space in the near future. Classic space opera with easy to launch one-page, basically. One-shot games. With micro settings. Next up, we have Tiny Pirates, Piracy on the High Seas, and an adaptation of the Age of Sail and the Golden Age of Piracy. And the next is Tiny Gunslingers. As it says, this is the Wild West with rules for duels, bounties, and grit points. Shootout mechanics based on blackjack. Don't expect pages of gears or tables for combat, paragraphs about horses, or convoluted travel rules. This is very simple tales where the heroes and villains face down in a quick draw to the death. You have a poker deck, no jokers for role-playing, out to gunslinging, and there's a collection of low-life fragments for you to tangle with 14 black hats with backstories. Now, if you level up, which I recommended you have the advanced. This basically expands the rules a little bit. This also links in with Tiny Zine articles. Basically, everything you need to have variety with new armor, new classes, new enemies, and a dungeon crawling system. However, if you want to take a tiny time off for a slice of life and run a tavern, the Tiny Six has you covered with character creation for archetypes based on a few simple traits, and you create a setting for a tavern, a home, an inn, or an enterprise. An a la carte selection for your chaotic and heartwarming slice of life fantasy, where you can have mini games and combat. These are combat free, deserts and plot hooks, etc. Next up, we have Mecha and Monsters. This is, you get to take on kaiju in giant robots. This is a new edition, new updated rules, newly edited with new artwork. You protect humanity from the giant kaiju. Welcome to Paradise is a novella set in the Monsters universe. Mech jockeys on a private island. Alright, so Tony Kalathu's basically the unknowable and horror mysteries of classic mythos. You have characters from scientists, librarians, World War I veterans, mysterious guardians, protecting the world from dark entities. Now this has a myriad of settings within, all set within minimalist storytelling light rule system. Tiny spies, straight up, Cold War, think, get smart, the Persuaders, the man, did I say the man from U.N.C.L.E.? Get smart. The Saint. I can't think of others, but basically you have covert versus disaster. It's basically a simple rice 3d6 system. Rules for gadgets, chasers, and minimalist all round. And the Living Dead. Tiny Living Dead and zombies. Now the thing about Tiny D6 is that it's balanced so that you can take elements out of each other and mix them around. Now it's pretty much a mega dungeon, right? You basically start off with a small dungeon and you add mini environments. Now, Tiny Zine will get you on your way. This is 4 compendium supplements from Gallup Knight for Tiny Zine collection, $12.95. Labels you to grow your tiny RPG with all issues basically with hundreds of articles in 44 issues from 2018 to 2021 of the Tiny Zine magazine. 800 pages of stuff for $12.95. These are 4 compendiums organised in DRM-free PDFs. Pay for, and basically you get what you pay for, which is pretty much $12.95, basically. So that's less than 1 year's of articles and you get 4 of them in 2 sets. Now, this is a giant collection of tiny articles. These are the first part adds new traits, new monsters, new backgrounds, and of course it continues with the remaining compendiums where you get extra 36, you get a wide-ranging titles and settings, Now, there's going to be some overlap with this, but it all expands. So don't fret. It's still worth having both. And this is all brought to you by me, funded by you through my Patreon, Future Fantasy, which is where I'm creating a high quality entertainment for fans of science. I should say, if you're a fan of science fiction, currently using the Wine system, easy to transfer to other systems. The goal is to provide you with fun and engaging setting, right, based on the Empire of Elves. Now, you join, you also get free battle maps. Now, I was working on a video game project which failed to gain interest. However, there's been off and on a little bit of interest, but not enough. But if we can get enough interest, I might be able to convince some people to help. But the artwork mostly needs to be funded. I was just looking at a minimalist, easy, basically top-down, shoot-'em-up type adventure. Now, of course, you get all the video notifications, all the articles, maps. Artwork is extra, maps, and of course the primary reason is the Empire of Elves supplements, rules for magic and technology that help define the Empire of Elves. Next up, we have the Drive-Thru RPG. The Drive-Thru RPG is the world's largest, currently the internet's largest RPG download store. But they got terrible, not well. However, the new from Daggerheart, new for Daggerheart from MattTheCreator is Cosmic Encounters, Intergalactic Powers from Beyond the Stars. Cosmic Expanders expands from the adversaries into player-controlled starships. You can now build and customize vessels. This is version 2 with access to an online starship builder. It's a plug-and-play science fantasy toolkit for Daggerheart that lets you stage using boardings, cathedral radiated chases, sonic sieges, reality-torn pilgrims, all without prep bloat. You have adversaries, starships, environments, ship conditions, ship outcomes, basically the aftermath of a battle, long-running foes, sector lore, shipbuilding rules, campaign sparks. And from Arc Dream Publishing for Delta Green, you have the Handler screen. This is updated 2025 Handler screen. Stretch across your table to be a barrier between you. So you create the more unknown elements of the unknown for you to hide behind. But no, no. You got everything you need right in front of you. So you're not buried face down in your books under the table trying to figure everything out, pretending to organise your notes. No, I would never do that. Launching soon it's still hasn't launched yet, but has grown slightly in followers. Dynamic Toys and Games has Thundercat role-playing game. So, they're probably waiting for others to finish. And yet coming soon is Apocalypse World to get a third edition. Again, another one to be launched soon on Kickstarter. So who knows? Will it launch straight away or who knows? But it's announced. They have... the Kickstarter page has 1,300 followers as of the publishing of this article. Apocalypse World. So we have a Kickstarter preview page live. Okay. Wow, the internet is cooperating today. Yeah, here we go. Apocalypse World burned over. 50 years we set fire to the world. It burned and burned. The world's psychic maelstrom howled. From the ashes were born heroes. Grief, monsters, terror, violence, hope. Something with the world is wrong with the world and everybody knows it. This is the third edition of the groundbreaking original. So we have more coming soon, then you know what to poke a stick at. Because if you remember, we had the whole bunch of them a few weeks ago on top of changes to the releases for Pathfinder. Realizing, I think a lot of people have realized a saturation. You notice not so many bundles are coming out at once. These are spread out over a week. Each week, one or two go down, one or two come up. They usually run for about 18 days. And, of course, they cycle. They do come back. Slowly, new ones come in. There have been hundreds of bundles over the years. There's no sign of stopping. And they really haven't covered the entire spectrum of role-playing games. But, of course, that's up to the people who publish, isn't it? But they are... I think a lot of people are realizing that, one, solo games are on the rise, and two, you need to publish a complete game. It's a bit hard to do when you're Patreon, because people will either wait for you to... People basically join, wait for you to get to the end of your run, then they'll join and try to download everything in the last few months. It's very hard. It's very hard to convince people to join and stay members for a long period as you develop and grow, because they want to be there. They just want to be waiting for you at the end, trying to convince as many people to join as I can, and hopefully become free members. I don't know. Patreon, Buy Me a Coffee, and all those, they're all the same thing. No one platform is doing way better than the others, although Patreon claims to be. But for me, Patreon has not been the miracle that they've claimed, but I really can't go back to... this is the thing. I went to Patreon because, you remember Patreon... Remember the... a lot of people asking for Subscribestar, and I kept telling them, no, they took my site down, and they said, no, just contact them, and they'll fix it. They never fixed it. Never. They don't reply my emails. Okay? Anybody out there got any answers? I don't know. I don't know what's gone wrong with Subscribestar. They treat me like a pariah. I think, obviously, if I was valuable to them, they would kiss my feet. I think that's the problem. That though people ask for Subscribestar, they don't listen. And that's the problem. I tried to tell people the only reason I'm on Patreon, and they have treated me better than Subscribestar. I don't know why people think that Subscribestar is the good alternative when it's Subscribestar who's treated me like garbage, and Patreon has, well, I'm not saying they haven't done anything bad to me, that they have with but their age restrictions don't apply to Future Fantasy. They have been very innovative with a new UI, as you can see. So, I don't know. I just really sincerely, please ask, will people stop asking for Subscribestar? I had a Subscribestar for Future Fantasy. It was called Bright Neon. It is gone. They won't answer. They won't answer my emails. In 9 years, they've never answered one of my emails. Not once. I'm really, really disappointed in Subscribestar. And I'm really disappointed in people who keep saying they want to support me, but hopefully that's... I don't need to keep bringing this up. I hopefully convince people now. Enough's enough. I'm not hiring anybody. I'm not sponsored by anybody. And I really appreciate the honest feedback from people. And I really do understand that from a technical point of view, the vast majority of you out there may not trust YouTube, but please understand, subscribing is going to happen eventually, okay? Sooner or later, YouTube will change. They've already changed the algorithms. If channels don't get enough subscribers, they're going to be gone. They've made that clear. They haven't said when, but they're basically forcing everybody to be in a desperate rush to get subscribers, to get that to at least 500, to get to 1,000. Shouldn't be difficult. But today, for most channels, it seems to be the more channels there are, the diluted the audience is. The audience is congregating to the top few. YouTube is promoting the top few, and it seems to be not if, but when YouTube starts deciding that we small channels don't generate the revenue, and they'll either start charging us. They're already talking about limitations of growth in the future, that they can't keep building new data centers, that they'll have to eventually start trimming videos. They haven't said how they're going to decide, but insider news and speculation is that they will start trimming channels like mine if we can't get to 500 soon. It doesn't matter if we have even 1,000 views. But they want a minimum amount of time and a minimum amount of views. That's just the way it is. You know, it costing them money. And sooner or later, I hate bringing it up because most people think that I'm guilting you. But that's the reality. And most people say, oh, well, you know, well, that just means you got to get good. But how do you get good when nobody gives you a chance? When people when a few want things their way, it's a grind of trying to bring you the most relevant news. Otherwise, I'd be here every day, all day, just talking about. There is just so much stuff. There are hundreds of community pages to cover. I just can't cover it all. There's just each video would be hours long. Without genuine feedback, I don't know what interests you. So thanks to those few who give their honest and genuine feedback. Let me know. But I can't follow every publisher. Right? I'll try my best. But if you have a news site or someone posting regular content or something that you think I need to cover, let me know. And I'll try to bring you, right, news like this. Kickstarters. Most RPG releases now are Kickstarters. I know a lot of people still, despite all the complaints, play D&D. I know there's a couple of big YouTube channels that keep talking about the death of Hasbro and the death of D&D. It's become like hate watching, I suppose, where most of the people I get it. Tabletop was rising at a time when video games were sprites on a screen, not sophisticated movie quality. Well, near movie quality in some cases, but high quality video games are taking over. And hopefully, with some sorting of ideas and some help, we might be able to bring RPGs back to life in the form of some form of video game. Because that's the future, folks. Solo play is, well, a lot of people would, if you want an RPG, if you want a large RPG online, I mean, long before Call of Duty's RPGs were online and massive, okay? But that group experience, that solo play experience, there's still a lot of people who want solo play. So thank you for watching. And tabletop, by the way, is the best way to solo play, not a video game. But there might be a sweet compromise somewhere. So thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And please support the channel. As you know, you can support me on Patreon. However, you can also buy my books, buy my merch. All my links are in the link tree, which you'll find in the description below, in my profile, or scan the QR code on the screen. Please and thank you. See you in the next video, and bye for now.